Hello and welcome. Are you ready to discover your true self? I'm pumped and I'm eager for this new journey of exploration. So let's take a unique approach together as we explore our innermost selves and uncover what lies ahead on this journey. Our intention is to introduce our true selves. It's not about enhancement or changing. Rather, it's an opportunity for self-reflection and acknowledgement of where we are in our present life. On this journey, we will acknowledge our current reality and values and learn to do so without so much judgment sometimes. It's about growing in awareness of both the inner and outer aspects that make up who we are, from our thoughts, our emotions and physicality, to our relationships and lifestyle choices and purposeful pursuits. We are going to take the time to get to know ourselves intimately and innately. Who we are naturally, without the restrictions of conformity or the external pressures, the doubts, the fears, and the confusion that can so often be in our minds, from the expectations of those that we love or the society around us. So let's have a look at these qualities within ourselves with clarity, with calmness, but also that excited confidence. As we venture through this journey on life, there are going to be so many moments that test us, both favourable and unfavourable. You may be experiencing one of those right now. Yet it's during these times when understanding ourselves can help give us the right direction to our ultimate destination, our growth and our evolution. With knowledge on how best to navigate in any situation, no matter what the challenging circumstances in life may bring, we can find within us and create the strength and the power to choose how we are going to experience those situations. And I get that at this time you might be like, look, I don't need to keep being where I am right now. I've been here long enough. I'm over this. I need to move on and I'm done. I don't want to spend any more time or energy or anything on it. I've tried everything and I don't need to be where I am. I need to move on from here now. Whether it's a space in life, a space in yourself, a situation in life, a person in life, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we may feel we've tried so much and we just don't want to acknowledge our current reality. So we find other ways to distract ourselves, even if it might be something that keeps repeating itself or impacting our lives, our mental state. We still often don't want to address it. We don't want to make the time for it. And we want to keep ourselves sort of unaware of it. But if we do acknowledge it, it wouldn't have to keep trying so hard and in such a variety of ways to get our attention. Sometimes those repeating patterns demand our attention until they are addressed or dealt with in some way. And now I know the acknowledgement of the reality of a situation can really be hard, but it is worthwhile. And more often than not, it brings about the shifts that we wish to see. And it helps us move forward in the direction that we would like to much quicker and with much more ease. And by taking the time now, we can truly save the time and energy and heartache and mental strain in the long run. Now, the other aspect to consider is that when we reject the less desirable parts of our reality, we tell ourselves that dealing with life is too hard and it's beyond our power. We can start to tell ourselves subconsciously that I can't deal with my problems or it's easier to ignore them. And then we condition ourselves to start ignoring problems, even if they're small, even if they're easy to address. We can begin to avoid taking meaningful action. And this, coupled with an intense desire for things to change immediately and the unwillingness to confront our problems, simply leads us so much further away from that which we are trying to shift. So this avoidance can continue to manifest, even as seemingly small things such as neglecting car maintenance or on the house, or avoiding relationship issues or issues with the kids, or being short with people because there's too much built up and you don't have the time to give that which you would like to that which you would like. And so everything becomes shortened and patience runs low, and we tell ourselves that even the slightest question from a colleague or a friend or a child or a partner can trouble us so much, because we are running off of the mindsets that life is too much. It's too much for me to handle. I can't deal with this. And if left unaddressed, these issues can cause such larger ripples throughout our life. So to break those cycles and embrace growth opportunities, it's important not just to acknowledge the problem exists, but actively take steps towards its resolution. Nothing can evolve without action on your part, be it in your physical world or your internal mental and emotional world. Because through our thoughts, through our actions and our decisions, we can create patterns that influence other aspects of our life. But it is up to us to determine which patterns, which mindsets we are going to create, which mindsets we are going to run off of, and which direction we would like them to take us. I often think about imagining accepting our reality sort of like a map. So say I'd like to go see some friends in America. So quickly I think about the reality of that being here in tropical North Queensland in Australia. I think about the time that it's going to take looking up, finding flights, transfers, visas, finding the money, having the health, all of the unknowns that could happen with the current state of the world, whether there'll be cancelled flights, when the best weather is to go, when the best time is for them, for me. And soon the realities create a picture, a very overwhelming picture. And so quite quickly you go, God, it would just be so much easier if I was already in Washington. And then all I'd have to do is just drive there. Wouldn't even have to think about any of those issues. But if I was to give myself the directions to get to their home, from where it would just be easiest, where I'd just prefer to be, where I'd like to tell myself that I am, even if I'm not, and I give those directions starting in Washington to get to their home, but I'm still here in North Queensland, and I have to follow those directions, I categorically will not get to their home, because the directions aren't remotely close to what they would be if I were to accept the reality of being here in the north. It's the same for us. If we keep giving ourselves the wrong directions, if we keep telling ourselves that we're feeling happy when we're not, that we're actually depressed and we're stressed, but we're telling ourselves that we're not worried, that we feel fine, that everything's good, if we're telling ourselves we're healthy when we're not, if we keep telling ourselves things that aren't true, all we are doing is telling ourselves that it is okay to lie to ourselves. And that too has a ripple into other aspects of life. So if we keep telling ourselves that we're in one specific place, when actually we're in a completely opposite or different place, we are not going to give ourselves and our internal navigation system the correct directions to where we want to go. And we condition ourselves to lie to ourselves, creating more beliefs and running off more mindsets that we can't trust or believe in ourselves. So the best way for us to move forward from where we are is to accept the reality of where we are. Because in that, we can give ourselves the correct skills, practices, thought processes, next steps, nurture, support, and encouragement and guidance and clear direction that we need in order to progress and evolve in life in the way that is truest to us. And you can really, truly begin to empower yourself and empower your life through new concepts, through new perspectives, through new feelings and new choices. And by exploring various facets of ourselves that our conscious mind doesn't always necessarily understand or comprehend, if we take time to understand on a deeper level our emotional intelligence, or delve into the external and internal aspects of our reality, we are then enabled with tools for personal growth. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but for me, I tend to get pretty happy about seemingly small and insignificant things. And I can't count how many times in my life as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, as a grown adult, people always say to me like, small things, small minds. Because I might be just watching the way the sand's moving or observing something super simple, or there's a puddle and I want to jump in it. And the amount of times people just come up or like give me that look and will say small things, small minds. And I'm like, but I see it as the total opposite, because I'm like, small things, big minds, because big minds can take in all the little stuff too. Whereas small minds can only take in the big, impactful, impressive things. You know, it's got to be really grand in order for small minds to get it. But the big mind has space for everything, for all the little things and all the medium things and all the everyday things and all of the exciting things and all of the exquisite things. And so when I say that we're taking time to look at our reality, we're not going to just be looking at the issues, the problems, and resolving them. We're going to be taking time to look at all those little things that bring us joy. All of those little things that we have done well. All of those little things that we have learned. And all of the big things. We're going to uncover some of our magic, our joy on this journey. For now, be true, be you, and be love.